Welcome back everybody to another video. In this video I am going to review the Outlaw 7000X, and in this video it might answer some of your questions that I had before I decided to pull the trigger. So stay tuned and you'll probably learn some things in here that will help you. Before I give you guys my take on this amplifier, I want to address the Q&A misconception which prevented me from pulling the trigger on buying this amp for at least a month. I kept on adding it to my cart and then deleting it, adding to my cart and deleting it, and just eyeballing the shit out of this amp. But anyways, in the customer ratings review Q&A section, all the questions there is also combined with the Outlaw 5000X, which is the 5-channel version. That being said, someone stated that this amplifier was only a 5.1 instead of a 7.1. So you basically would have to run Atmos separately. When I read that, this amplifier is pretty much not what I'm looking for, because I need to run a 5.1.2 with all the 7 channels. Let me tell you this right now, you can run Atmos. You can, with this 7000X 7 channel, you can run 5.1.2, and I'll tell you guys later on how to do that. So when I read that, I shopped elsewhere and I kept running into inflated prices or out of stock. The Anthems was out of stock. Marantz is a little too expensive. Monolith was also inflated in the Walmart.com. I was eyeballing the Yamaha 11-channel one, and that guy, I remember it was like 2200, but on Amazon it was 2800, which I thought was ridiculous, but actually other people were selling that for 3600, so that 2800 looked a lot better. Now the Outlaw 7000, compared with other amps inflated prices, was actually much less inflated, so I decided to pull the trigger on the Outlaw 7000X, and I expected to run it only with 5 channels and probably run the Atmos separately, worst case scenario. So I ordered the Outlaw on a Tuesday, and the arrival date was from next Monday to Thursday. So I'm going to give you guys a warning right now, and it's a good warning. I actually received it that Friday, the same week, unexpectedly early, and almost missed the delivery guy because you actually have to be present and sign for it. I did not know that. But luckily, long story short, I caught the delivery guy on the way to my neighbor's trying to deliver something there. Now, on with the quick review. This amp is a 7-channel by 130 watts continuous high current class AB, and generously Outlaw put in the 12-volt trigger cable, which I'm very happy for that, because I know that that's the true trigger cable. And it also has RCA and XLR inputs, and I bought mine Outlaw for $1,099. So like I was stating before, you can actually run a 5.1.2 or a 5.2.2 with the 7000X, even though the instructions states for you to correspond with the channels. But for your surround backs on the 7000X, use that for your Atmos channel, and on your processor or AVR, run that connection for your height channels, and that's how you get your Atmos channels with it. Now, the Outlaw 7000 has the capabilities to turn on with the trigger cable and or put on standby mode. The binding post is built top notch. It's actually one of the most beautiful binding posts I have ever owned, and you can tell the build quality of the whole Outlaw amplifier is professionally built. and there's no humming present when you use RCA or XLR connections, which is a plus. Um, just like, I mean, that's what you want. You don't want any kind of humming with your amplifier. Now it is super heavy. It says it's roughly like 61 pounds, but it's gonna feel a lot heavier than that because you're gonna have to maneuver it when you install it in your setup. Each channel has its own heatsink with which helps cool the channel, and the amp doesn't get too warm even after long hours. I was watching Spider-Man with it, with the 7000X, Spider-Man No Way Home, and it seriously, it sounded like I was in an actual Atmos theater, and my speakers never sounded so good. I've run other setups in this theater room, the one that I'm running, the Outlaw, right now, and out of all my different setups, with this setup with the Outlaw powering my speakers, it seriously sounded good. I mean, it always sounded good, but I swear to you, it's the best sounding thing I ever ran ever to date in my life. Now, the speakers I used with with this Outlaw is the Martin Logan's 35X Ti for the front channels, the Bowers and Wilkins HTM71 S2 for the center channel, the Bowers and Wilkins CM5 for the surrounds, and 2 SVS elevation for the high channels. I was impressed with the power it produced, along with the sound clarity. 130 watts by 7 channel is plenty of power for me. The sound quality is what you would want in a home theater. I have to give the Arcam AVR 390 some credit too, because that is what I use to run the 5.2.2 setup with the Outlaw, along with the Outlaw 7000X, of course. Now, what a beautiful match for the total harmonic distortion. Nowhere was there any loss of power. The sound resolution is impressively dynamic, which I never had gotten from any other AVR alone, or separates for that matter. And I know that sound resolution is not a word, but we're talking about high resolution sound. On a side note, the original price of the 7000X was $979 and $999 at Outlaw.com currently. So if you want it for less than I bought it for, you'll have to go to Outlaw.com. I decided to purchase this from Amazon.com just to be on the safe side at $1,099. Based on the design, sound quality, and the powerhouse of performance, don't tell Outlaw this, but to me, the Outlaw 7000X is worth twice the asking price in my book. Now, if you need an affordable 7-channel amplifier, this is it. And they are in stock, surprisingly. I am very happy with my hard decision to purchase the Outlaw 7000, especially one that has XLR inputs. For that price, that is a best buy. So that pretty much wraps it up for the Outlaw. Subscribe, like if this video helped you, and thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Hooded Dragons out.